Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad NURSAFWAN Fahim bin Muhammad SOKRI. My student ID is 2023449006 and I am from class M3802402B, and today I want to present about fruits and seed development. Okay, so here are the contents that I'm going to present today, which is what is a fruit and fruit types, seeds, seed structure, seed components, seed development, and germination type. First thing first, I want to talk about what is a fruit. So, what is a fruit? Okay, a fully developed ovary give rise to a fruit. It facilitates seed dissemination by wind or animals while safeguarding the contained seeds. Without fertilization, parthenocarpy forms a fruit without seeds. A fruit is a mature ovary of a flowering plant, typically containing seeds. Fruits develop from the fertilized ovule in the ovary. After pollination and fertilization, the main function of a fruit is to protect and nourish the seeds and aid in their dispersal. Fruits come in various forms, sizes, and texture, and they play a crucial role in the reproductive success of flowering plants. Okay. Fruits originated from the ovary of a flower. After fertilization, the ovary undergoes changes in structure and composition, ultimately developing into a mature fruit. Fruit exhibit a wide range of diversity in terms of size, shape, color, and texture. Some common examples include fleshy fruits like apples, berries, dry fruits like nuts, legumes, and a specialized structure like samaras and achenes. The next slide, I will going to give you about the fruit types. There are four fruit type, which is simple fruit, aggregate fruit, multiple fruit, and false fruit. First, I'm going to talk about the simple fruit first. A simple fruit develops from a single ovary of a single flower and typically contain one seed or a few seeds. The ovary is the part of the flower that eventually matures into the fruit. Example of simple fruits includes apple, cherries, and tomatoes. Next is the aggregate fruit. An aggregate fruit forms multiple ovaries of a single flower. Each ovary develops into a small individual fruit called a druplet, and these druplets are clustered together to form a single larger fruit. Example of aggregate fruits include strawberries, raspberry, and blackberries. And next is the multiple fruits. A multiple fruit develops from the ovaries of multiple flowers that are closely packed together. The individual fruits fuse as they grow, creating a larger composite fruit structure. Pineapples are a classic example of a multiple fruits. And lastly, the false fruit. A false fruit, also known as a pseudo fruit or accessory fruit, is not derived solely from the ovary of a flower but involve other floral parts. The edible parts of the fruits may come from surrounding tissues such as the receptacles, floral tube, or other floral parts. An example of a false fruit is the apple, where the fleshy part develops from the floral tube and receptacle rather than the ovary. For the next content, I will going to present to you about the definition of seed and what the type of the seeds. I'm going to tell you about the seed structure. All of the genetic materials required for a seed to grow into a whole plant is present in seeds. An embryo reserves tissue for storage, and an exterior layer of protection comprises an adult ovule that has developed into a seed. I'm going to tell you about the seed component. There are three main parts in the seed component, which is embryo, endosperm, and seed coat. First, I'm going to tell you about the seed coat. Seed coat is the protective outer covering of the seeds. It develops from the integuments of the ovule after fertilization. The seed coat provides physical protection to the seeds and regulates water and gas exchange during germination. And for the embryo is the young, undeveloped plant within the seeds. It consists of several key parts, which is radicle, plumule, and cotyledons. The radicle, the embryonic root that develops into the primary root upon germination, and plumule, the embryo shoots that give rise to the leaf and stem upon germination, and lastly, for the cotyledon, these are seeds leaves that may store nutrients or assist in nutrient absorption during germination. The numbers of cotyledon varies among plant species. And for the third is the endosperm. Endosperm is a tissue that stores nutrients for the developing embryo. It provides a source of energy and nutrients during the early stage of germination. In some seeds, the endosperm is absorbed by the cotyledon. Now we move on to the seed development. There are three physiological stages of development, which is histodifferentiation or embryo differentiation, cell expansion, and maturation. For the first, I'm going to give you about the embryo differentiation. It is referred to the process by which the cell of the embryo becomes specialized into distinct cell types and tissue. This occurs as the fertilized egg undergoes multiple cell divisions and begin to form structures such as the radicles, plumule, and cotyledons. Each of these structures plays a specific role in the development of the future plants. And for the cell expansion, it is the phase in seed development where cells increase in size. During this stage, water enters the cell, causing them to swell. Cell expansion is critical for the growth of the seed, and it contributes to the enlargement of structure such as cotyledons, radicle, and plumule. This process is regulated by various factors including hormones and genetic programs. And lastly, for the maturation, it is the final stage of seed development during which the seed completes its growth and attains physiological and biochemical maturity. The cells differentiate further and the seeds accumulate reserve of nutrients and energy, often in the form of starch, protein, and lipids. Maturation prepares the seed for dormancy and desiccation, allowing it to withstand favorable conditions until the time is right for germination. For the last content, I want to present to you about the germination type. There are two types of emergence, which is epigynous emergence and hypogynous emergence. First, let's talk about the epigynous emergence. In epigynous emergence, the cotyledons of the germinating seedling are brought above the soil surface. As the seedling grows, the hypocotyl elongates and the cotyledon expand and become exposed to the light and air. The cotyledons may play a role in the photosynthesis and provide energy for further growth, and many common garden vegetables such as beans and sunflowers exhibit epigynous emergence. And next is the hypogynous emergence. In hypogynous emergence, the cotyledon remains below the soil surface during the after germination. Instead of emerging into the air and light, the epicotyl elongates and lifts the shoot tip and leaf above the ground. The cotyledons in hypogynous plants do not become photosynthetic, but often serve as nutrient storage for the developing seedling. Example of plants with hypogynous emergence includes peas and peanut. That is all from me for my presentation today. Thank you for your attention, and Assalamualaikum.